To Bombay, a travelling circus came. They brought an intelligent elephant, and Nellie was her name. One dark night, she slipped her iron chain, and off she ran to Hindustan and was never seen again. Nellie the elephant packed her trunk and said goodbye to the circus. Off she went with the trumpety trump, 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 trump. Nellie the elephant packed her trunk and trundled off to the jungle. Off she went with the trumpety trump, 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 trump.
Hello everybody and welcome to yet another Madaxeman.com podcast. This is, somewhat unbelievably, number 11 in this occasional series. And here we're again outside a Tapas bar. This is a different one to episode 10, in a different town, but the cast of idiots are the same, and the mix of food and wine glasses clinking background noise is the same as well. So for fans of high quality audio, I'm really sorry you're going to be disappointed on this one, but not quite as bad as it was. In this episode, in terms of content, we actually chunter on about elephants, as you may have guessed from the slightly changed opening music that we've gone for this week. The wonder weapons, or overpriced, or just another troop type, well, you may not know by the end of this episode because we just talk all over the place, really. And I think the more red wine gets consumed, the more interesting it becomes. But hopefully there's something in there for you. And, if nothing else, it's a good chance to listen to Nellie the elephant again. So with that, I'll step aside and we'll get on with the podcast.
Off she went with a trumpety trump, 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 trump.
Okay, right. I'm sat here with Pete, Simon and Dave. We're in the town square of the town of Harrow. Not the one Harrow in the hill, but Harrow, the capital of the Rioja region, with some very nice glasses of Rioja. It's about 1 in the afternoon. We're about to have a bit of tapas. The sun's shining. All is good with the world. And we thought, because of just coming off the end of this competition, that we would have a chat about elephants, because in some ways we're trying to work out if they are the new wonder weapons of war, or whether that we've just been unlucky and overrated them. And Simon's used elephants. Dave, you used a couple.
Two
used a couple.
I got destroyed by several armies of elephants and got rowdy trounced by them.
And I had some mixed results against them. But so I think it's a programme about elephants in elephants and Rioja. Here we go.
Elephants, cavalry, just do not mix. I
Because
learned that tonight.
So there were 16 players?
24
24
players.
There were at least 3 classical Indian. There were 2 Tamils, that's 5.
It's 5 Indians. Yeah.
There were like Alexandrian, there were probably about 4.
Oh, here comes Tapas. Sorry.
They're looking at like
carry
8.
on, yeah.
I'd say at least 10 of the armies were sort of a bit elephanty at least.
Well, a bit elephanty, but there's been... Oh, pimientos. Oh, good. Oh, look at that one. Wow. So that's quite spectacular. That's good. Fantastic. And the queso. It's all good.
Yes.
Sorry, tapas as well.
Good stews.
But is there not a thing with elephants that if you were an ancient general and you could get hold of some elephants,
You'd go for it.
you'd include them?
They're a big scary thing.
I think with the Seleucids, they were like a trophy weapon.
Yeah.
They were, the Seleucids had elephant core, and it was like everything the Seleucids and the successors did, it was like on a monumental scale to show off, like the ships got bigger.
But if ancient, what I'm saying is, if ancient armies, when they had the chance of elephants, had always picked some elephants, the fact that they're kind of if you've got them in your choice, you choose them.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily wrong. It's just whether they're overpriced for their points or whatever. But Simon, you were using it with Indians, weren't you?
Yeah, so I had my Hindu Indians had 4. I brought 4 elite elephants, but I did design my army around elephants, not knowing how good they were.
Yeah.
I just would do elephants.
Yeah. So you only had 4?
Only 4, because you're going to have a max of 6.
Okay.
But I had
It's quite expensive, aren't
yeah,
they?
they're 16 points a pop. So in a 200-point game, 64 points gone for elephants. It's quite a large amount of my army.
And then you've got, because my other theory on elephants is that you're not just paying for the elephants. If you've got a 16-point elephant, it's really vulnerable to shooting. So you need a 4-point light infantryman in front of it. So it's a 20-point unit for one frontage. That's
5 of them
that's
would be
80 of your 200 points.
Yep.
Is a frontage of 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah, elite elephants 13,
16.
I don't think you ever used. Well,
Is it?
I know Iñaki used them with one group of 4
Yeah.
elephants, including a general. But I actually don't think you want to have them in groups of anything more than 2.
I split mine
because
to
of the
2.
manoeuvrability, and you've got to have something on either side of them.
But also, what I found is that, so playing the first couple of practice games with the army just to figure out how it moved, without the skirmisher, your elephants go down screaming very quickly.
Yeah.
And I tried it with like the Iñaki way, with a battle group of 4, just stomping down the table. And you can just avoid them. It also leaves the rest of my infantry, who are as scary as a wet fish, really, really soft.
Iñaki's ones, that's me in the first game, these ones didn't move at all.
So what I did is I spread my elephants all throughout the line, so no matter where you went, every infantryman was protected by an elephant. So the cavalry just went, I'm not sure about this.
So were you using them as offensive weapons, or was it more that it forced the enemy cavalry out of the way?
A bit of both.
We
found the chili.
Yeah,
We've got a super hot chili.
that's
a bit
good.
of tapas.
Oh, yeah, that hits the
Careful,
spot.
Peter. Right, okay. I'll have a go at that.
If that's a bit chilly, I'll have a pinch of that.
No, I used mine as offensive
Good
weapons.
one.
Whoa. Oh,
Yeah.
Madre de Dios, as we say in Spain. Whoa.
Well,
That's like the pork inside.
yeah, my arm's broken.
Excuse me. But I thought being an Indian army with lots of shooting and all that.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it.
Great.
Look early.
Oh, have a bit of that, Peter, as well. So you've got shooting, but...
I used them as offensive weapons because I wasn't prepared to spend 5 games sitting on the corner hiding.
Yeah.
So as soon as I could, I was off moving, chasing people off the table. So
Okay.
most games I was in combat in round 3 or round 2. So you know my style of play. If I can, go in, go hard, go down, one way or the other.
But but you broke all 5 of your opponents. So you've only got 4 elephants. What did the elephants do that on their own, or what's the rest of the army was?
The elephants caused a little bit of terror. They did some serious stomping, which was quite good. But the bulk of my army, being bow and heavy cavalry, they were the ones who actually managed to cause a lot of the damage.
Right.
So the elephants there, people are a little bit wary about it.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you've got 15 elements of bow shooting back at you every turn.
So it's actually a bow army with elephants rather than an elephant army with bow. In some way.
Bow are very good, I think.
Yeah.
It also helps you when you're having 10 to 15 of them. As
Most
a solid
lists,
line.
most lists can only do 6.
Yeah.
Which is almost like the elephants in the Indian army. The elephants almost protect the bow.
Yeah.
Until you've whittled the enemy down, and then your elephant's going for the coup de grace.
Yeah. But
Plus, in the classic Indian, you can do the couple of half and halves, can't you?
yeah. So I just didn't
Yeah,
have
the chariots.
I just didn't have the brain space to understand how that would work. So I went, let's go simple.
Go
Bow, elephant, cavalry. No, nothing scary. Just literally cavalry. Just to get my head around the mechanics of it and just push it around.
So Dave, you've used 2 elephants in your elephants?
Either 1 or 2.
Either 1 or 2. 2 list
I
competition,
think
right?
the interesting thing, the difference with the Alexandrian army is you've got more commands because you've got 5 command points. So you can have. So where I've got the commands with 2 elephants in it, that options. In this competition, we've had 2 lists. I think we should say that.
Yeah.
So where I've got the 2 elephants, that's in one big command with a brilliant general. It goes with the pike.
Yep.
It goes with pike, 2 spear, 2 light foot, and 2 elephants.
So the elephants move at different speeds. Is
Right.
that a problem, or it's
So
a
the
brilliant general fixes
The
it?
brilliant general sits with the elephants to move them.
Okay.
The pike can move up. So essentially you need 1 pip to move the light foot, 1 pip to move the pike and the spear, and possibly 2 pips to move the elephants. But the pike go forward, the elephants catch up,
Okay.
and that gives you 5, 6, 7 wide
Yeah.
strike force, and you've got the elite light foot to take on the other opponent's elephants if they're there, which in actual fact can make you 9
9 wide
bases
if you're
wide
fighting a load of
if you fight elephants.
Right.
But against the legionaries, I mean, if you make a cock up of your deployment and you've got to redeploy your elephants, they're a
horrible.
nightmare.
It's just
They're
not
an
happening.
absolute
Yeah.
nightmare. And you use all your pips doing that. But if you get them in the right place, you can just go straight. it's great. My tactic was to put the heavy foot on the edge of a field.
Yep.
The elephant's in the field. Then another commander's got 2 medium foot, 2 light horse, and another light foot elite. So that's a micro force. That goes down first, which means you get to see where the opponent's forces are. Then you can put this big wedge of heavy foot and elephants. And then the elephants can operate with the medium foot through the terrain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Or they can operate with the heavy foot as a terror weapon on legionaries and things like that.
So
That's
you
the theory, anyway.
use the elephants to give your heavy foot an edge in a heavy foot battle.
Yes,
Right.
yes, definitely.
Okay.
And that's all about getting the elephants to the right place.
But
So sometimes you end up with some heavy foot spear hanging around behind, but that's a good
wouldn't
thing.
more legionaries do exactly the same thing for the same points and be less unmanoeuvrable?
But the legionaries need to be elite, I think. And
Yeah.
So the guy I played in the last game, he was 5 wide legionaries, but I was 3 pike, 2 spear, 2 elephants, and then the medium foot were on the ends as well.
Right.
So I was definitely. He had a smaller command, which I dealt with. Then I could. But see, the other strike force.
But,
the other
but
went to the
but
companions.
in a spear and pike command isn't afraid of mounted anyway, is it?
No.
So having the
And it
elephants.
can walk through. And it can walk through.
So actually,
fields.
you use the elephants as effectively legionaries that could go in the rough.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Because
that's a good way
there's
of
sort of a
putting it, yeah.
similar points total, and they've got shot impact, and I suppose they've got furious charge as well, which
Yeah.
gives you an extra
And you've
extra
got
hit.
lots of people deploy 2 elephants with a medium foot on either side.
Yeah, that's the
I
classic,
think
isn't it?
that's a wrong way of doing it, because if you have to redeploy, you've got a medium foot in the way, because the elephants turn around, they can only operate together.
Yeah.
So you're using a lot of pips, and that's what stops the elephants manoeuvring quite as well, because you've got to get the medium foot out of the way.
Okay.
So I tend to put the 2 elephants together, then some medium foot on the outside and heavy foot on the inside,
Right.
if I can.
Because you want to move the elephant that side slide
Yeah.
to get the proper
Yes.
matchup.
And
If
you
he gets the
don't
wrong
want-
matchup, you're
exactly.
completely nailed. Okay.
People think medium foot move at the same speed as the elephant, which is good, and it does move with them. But when you start to slip and turn and things, that's when you lose the functionality. When I played the doubles, we had 2 assassinids,
Yep.
2 elephants, dial army on either side. I don't think it worked, especially because we were sitting the elephants
It's
back
so,
on a road.
it's so tempting, isn't it, as well, though,
Yeah.
to put those 2 dial army either side of an elephant and
Exactly.
assassinate.
And we were sitting them back on a road, so that if we needed to, we could turn around and speed off
Yeah.
to redeploy to where somebody else's cataphracts
Yeah.
or heavy cavalry were. But then you've got the dial army in the way to some extent.
Yeah, that doesn't really work.
Which is why I put them with the heavies, not with the mediums.
Right.
But then the medium commander's got 1 general on his own, competent. So all he's doing is moving 2 light horse, 2 medium foot, and a light foot. So he can always catch up with the elephants and move his command as a
And bring him
separate
to
thing.
support them.
And then you've got this blocking great heavy cavalry command, which
Yeah.
is the strike force. So
Yeah.
it's actually really. I mean, that's the way I've always played that army, and I felt like it was going wrong before this competition, but now I feel it's gone. I think that's the thing. The French at Charleroi said there was a massive difference in the way they dismissed us out of turn, didn't they? Quite frankly, because we were rubbish.
Well, in fairness, you guys did get,
Yeah,
how many
we got
wins in the first couple of
absolutely
games? 0?
Zero.
The
Yeah.
French guys are going, the Spanish played a completely different way to us. And I think we play in a quite similar way to the Spanish.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the French have these mixed up commands
Yep.
and tap around, whereas we go with a full
Proper
Monty's
attack, yeah. Old school attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Pete, you seem to have had like elephant nightmare weekend then. That's what prompted this discussion, wasn't it? You
Yeah.
just going, these are wonder weapons. I'm
Well,
going to go through all the army lists.
Everywhere I look, there's an elephant.
Find all the lists with elephants, and that's what I'm going to use.
See, I just got badly mauled. I had
Shooty cavalry, eh?
Yeah, I had a Nike Byzantine list which had some great heavy impact bow elite cavalry. They're very expensive for what they are, and you think, you ride forward with that. You got 4 of them taking a shot. You expect you're going to get some hits with it's elite shooty bow. You can run off with it, be fine. But no, I came up against the elephants, and because they're fairly expensive. I wasn't able to do the width, as it were.
Yeah.
So before you know it, you're having problems actually getting in 2 shoots, because you can only shoot 2, not 4. So next thing you know, you've got the little sort of tappy ones, which is, he's putting a light that just gets around one tiny corner edge, and next thing you know, you can't run off.
And there's an elephant with battery.
And then elephants
the
hitting you.
elephant.
It's like,
And
g'day.
it's like that happened to me. One of the French players was really good at it, much to my frustration, because he had some cavalry. Wasn't that good, but he deployed them really well with the elephants. And the cavalry constantly pushing me back, and I just could not shoot for the life of me. I mean, elephants, you've got to remember,
No, but
you can't rally them.
But shooting's one thing, but how come with a Nickephorian army, which has got, what, Command 5 or something? It's 5 or even 6?
Because it's tiny.
How did you, and it's tiny, how did you effectively get out-deployed by elephants?
Well, because he was just deploying across because you've got to try and get within 2 to shoot.
So you used a lot of elephants then?
Yeah, he was using a lot of elephants, and on quite a wide breadth, because
Right.
you have elephant with
What
a
was
couple
the,
of
what was
medium.
the army?
Is this the
Is that
big
Tamil
guy?
Indian?
Well, there was the
It was
Tamil
an
Indian one.
Right.
He had 6 elephants.
Yeah,
Okay,
6
fine.
elephants and spread out.
Yeah, you're not going to avoid that.
No, there was another Alexandrian one, which
2.
he had 2, but then he had the pikes, which my guys aren't going to run into
Okay.
either. But I got that one pretty close. That was within 2 points of
Yeah.
breaking him. I broke. Same with the Tamil one.
Okay.
Still a couple of points of him breaking. I broke. He was about to break, but it was just constantly the elephants were just mitigating the most expensive part of my
Yeah.
force. And for whatever reason, I mean, I'd have 4 rounds of shooting at them and not score a single hit. It might have just been my dice, but
Well,
you've got to
that's
bleed
got
some
to be
elephants.
bad luck, but there's some of it is matchup. So if you fought, if you're going to fight a Tamil army with Byzantines,
It's a hard gig.
It's a hard gig. So
I
it's all
don't
shooting,
think
it's all
I
right.
don't think one base shooting on itself
Is ever enough?
is ever enough.
No,
You
you've got to
need
go at least
2
3.
bases.
You've got to go
3 with Indians. You always
3.
got 3. But with an Indian command, it's quite likely if you're shooting at a light horse, you'll have 2 bow
Yep.
plus for mounted
Yep.
plus an ally, so then
Yep.
2 against 0.
Yep.
So that's the light
Hello.
horse
Yep.
That's
running
gone.
away or dead quite often.
Yep.
Well,
Against other troops, the Byzantine cavalry are excellent, they're really good, but they need something else, like a light foot or another cavalry.
To
And
give
you
them
need
that extra plus one.
Well,
Exactly.
it's just that I had
That's the
that.
thing.
I had sort of 4 cavalry, because I had a medium cavalry bow and a light cavalry bow as well.
Yeah.
So even with that, if he's lined up, it's hard to get 2 shots on that one thing. Because if he's lined up with the lights, and you've got to strike near the angles. And I started to do that. I mean, later on, some of my other battles where I managed to get my Scutorii, which are half heavy lance. Heavy spears, sort of in the Spanish terms, and half bow, and they were able to shoot things off terrain, because with Nickephorians sometimes you don't have any medium troops. You've got nothing that can really go in terrain. So it was, from that aspect, it wasn't bad. The Vangarians going in, chopping things, they did
quite nice,
fantastic. But even I must have just had bad luck, because even my heavy infantry spear, the elephants ignore the spear. It's like the elephants still get impact.
Ignore the impact, yeah.
And if they win the first fight, they get a furious charge. So before you know it, you're 2-3 pips down, and that's on your first hit.
Yeah.
It's
Which
just,
is where you want the older Scutorii
With
who are just spear front rank and bow at the rear,
'Cause they
because then
fight
they
better.
add shooting to the heavy cavalry shooting.
True.
Okay, they're a danger if they get hit by virtually everything, but that turns it into a much heavier shooting army.
do they get support against elephants coming in?
No, they count as mediocre spear.
They count as mediocre.
But I
But
think
do they get
I think they get the bow rear rank.
They get the
I'm not
mitigating bow
yeah.
factor.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I think I
In the
missed that
first
on a couple
round.
of things.
In the first
In the
round.
first round, yeah.
I missed that.
I think we
on a
do.
couple.
Yeah, I think that's
But
right.
the one army that gave me the most difficulty was the not Nickephori, the Micophorid or Mikos Byzantine army.
Maurician.
That's the one, yeah. I can never pronounce
Morris,
the one.
basically.
And so his army was comprised of this is a French guy who got second place. He had 4, or I think the 4 heavy cavalry. So it's all heavy cavalry impact
And
with
elite.
bow and elite, and the rest of the army
Mediocre.
was medium. And he outdanced me. So he had a command of 6 or 7. So he had 2 brilliant, strategists and 2 brilliants. And
Wow,
on
that's-
turn one,
that's-
it was
that's 3, 4.
scatter,
That's-
and everybody scattered for the wins, and he had to come forward because I can cover the whole centre of table. But he just worked my flanks, and he managed to get into one flank, and 6 cavalry were proceeding to tear me to pieces. So he took the baggage in turn 4, because the light horse just went straight around, and just avoid everybody. But he had to, as you said, he had to come up to shoot. And by the time he got that close to shoot, I was able to slowly catch up to him. But once he'd got my baggage and was coming around, I was getting taken 2-3 ways, rear and to the flank. In every turn I'm losing 2 or 3 troops. And luckily I managed to break him at the same time he broke me, which was much to his absolute horror. But otherwise, I was expecting that to go down screaming with a, move 4 or 5 points off him. It was horrible.
That's what I think I made the mistake of. I split my cavalry into 2 different wings to try and use the flanking on either side. But the problem is, neither was enough to
You
sort
weren't,
of
you weren't
overwhelm.
hitting the centre. though. You still
Well,
weren't
the
hitting
centre, I wasn't worried about. I wanted the centre to come to Muscatorio, and that wasn't bad. They came to the centre, but because I didn't overload one wing or the other, it was neither one nor the other. So both got mitigated, and neither was able to fully overwhelm one. So I think next time I'll just do a block of cavalry on one wing and say, right, that's going for it. That's got enough breadth to cover.
That's where I do a micro command, a strong command to hold, and then a strike command.
So does that mean if we're sat here and trying to think this through, in retrospect, your elephant phobia was actually partly army matchup and partly your own tactics, or do you still think there's just something kind of...
Yeah, I think, we got used to it because we haven't been playing elephants that much in the UK, have we? So apart from Charleroi, which shall be forgotten, we haven't had much experience being stomped. So it's almost like having that experience. Like, Dave, you had a bit of luck with the sort of javelin men chasing down elephants, didn't you?
I was scared of it. I was not enjoying javelin. They were coming up to me and beating on me because the lightfoot javelin would come up and shoot a couple of times. And because elephants can't recover, and that's one of the key things. If you can get one little shot into them, get them disrupted, they're always at the minus, and then all of a sudden you can really tear them to pieces.
Because medium infantry javelin men are kind of one of those troop types that you skip over and think, oh, they're a bit pants.
No, they're really good troops.
But actually having a couple of them to go hunt elephants, if you're going to be fighting in a classical period.
So again, I think they're 7 points maximum.
Yeah, 6 or 7, so they just chew up.
Javelin men are really good to widen your line to get the overlaps. Their shooting thing, they can run away, but it's a bit of a risk.
Scary,
But they're actually better than Lightfoot javelin fighting the elephants.
Oh yeah,
and they're relatively cheap. They're half the price of the elephants, especially with the Lightfoot.
Yeah, the elephants are 20 point.
And they always chase off the.
I played a Seleucid as my final game, and so he had 6 or so medium foot javelin. And no matter where I went, there was 3 javelin hunting my elephants down, going here, elephant, 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 elephant. So I was having to protect my line
maybe
heavily.
Part of this is it also being a 2-list competition where you take 2 different compositions. So some people who've played more than we have, like all the rest of the people, might have taken some anti-elephant or a composition about what their nemesis
I didn't think my 2 lists were actually justifiably different in some ways, because I didn't imagine, but they were actually significantly different in this competition, because one was 2 medium foot, as I say, that denying tinier command with a more strike in the centre. Then my other list had 3 medium foot with heavy weapon rather than 2 medium foot with spear, and 4 Lightfoot javelin, and that it actually worked a treat, because that's designed to take on the Indians, because you're going to have to fight them in the rough, and you've got all those 4 elite javelin to take on the elephants.
No, I would not want to play with that.
You've got 7 elephant fighting
troops.
Plus you've got your cavalry and you've got the Lightfoot.
I do like the idea of the light javelin cavalry. Because if you took a group of 3 of those, even if they don't have elephants, normally most people take just 2 light
cavalry to get the extra +1 and
to get the +1, and sometimes they split it up to try and get your baggage either side. So all of a sudden you've got 3 light javelin that can charge up.
Bully
people. They're going to run off. So next thing you know, you're following up behind, still with the javelins, able to chuck up.
I got bullied quite convincingly by a couple of armies with a squad of 3 light horse javelin. He came screaming down the side, avoided all my troops until things started to happen. Then the light horse started to come in from the back.
Yes.
And they were able to pull one off at a time.
Absolutely.
And
Like
so I had to,
Velociraptors side.
yeah, so I had to turn to deal with them while the elephants and everybody else is going forward going, I know what's going to happen, let's move on. And meanwhile, they can swarm it, take a couple of turns to deal with it, or if they lose badly, they just break off the next turn. And then you just pick off one element at a time. It's a 3-to-1 cost for them. But once you get one or two of the Indians pulled out, trying to turn elephants was nigh impossible. I could have, in one game, I could have had 4 flank attacks. When you roll 3-1 for your command pips, the elephants just sit there going,
They just can't do it, can they?
I'm going to sit here, and you couldn't move forward because I was inside 2, so I need 2 pips. I couldn't turn, I couldn't wheel. The elephants just sat there. Meanwhile, javelins all walked up and go, hello, catch this.
Because the last game I played a Khorasanian army in that bowling alley terrain, and he had an elephant. It was supported by bowmen, as you do.
Yeah.
So I just steamed heavy foot warriors.
And as long
into
as your
it.
heavy foot survive against the elephant for a bit.
Well, the heavy foot
you
survived
will
a
kill
bit.
the-
Heavy
you
foot
will
survived
kill
a
the
bit, and then I just went through the stuff at the sides, turned into the flank of the elephant.
Yeah.
And the elephant only takes 3 hits. You hit it in the flank,
It's gone.
suddenly it's gone. It's absolutely gone.
Once I got hit in the flank, my elephants went down every turn.
Yeah,
As long as you're wise enough and you can sustain a bit of damage,
yeah.
you'll beat the elephant.
What?
The bow thing,
I
the light
think that,
horse thing,
maybe
is
it's just because they're foot battle troops
Yeah.
who they're effectively +1 at impact against pretty much all heavy foot.
Yes.
And they get furious charge. So if they get a good roll,
They're gonna
so
hurt.
if you're starting at +1.
Yeah.
So if you get to 5,
Yeah.
so if you beat them by 4 on the dice roll, you're beating them by 5 in combat, which is 3 hits and furious charge.
And if you
So
can get
winning-
an overlap in there,
So
they
winning
really
by
are
4 is possible. Even winning by even winning by 2 means you win by 3, which is 2 hits plus furious charge 3 hits. So your 4-hit heavy infantry are at red straight away if the elephant wins by 2.
Or-
That's what I did to the legionaries
Yeah.
in the last game. Was the elephant went in, and then a spearman actually came out of bad terrain. He was still in the train, but he was just all there to give the overlap
Yeah.
to add that extra
Yeah.
one, which then really waxed the
Yeah.
because I got 3 pluses, so it's 2 hits on the legionary plus the furious charge. He was down to 3, 1 left to go.
I wonder if it's with a line of heavy foot going in against a textbook elephant and bow formation. If you had the pips, would it be worth sending? If I think my heavy foot swordsman go in at 1 charge 2 or impetuous 2, and then if you're going against bowmen, you could actually go take 2 overlaps and be at evens, and you take 4 hits, they take 3. You've got furious charge. You could just send them in and ignore them.
I did.
I had one
Ignore
player.
the elephant.
I had one player who did that. He charged a group of 6 or 8. It was a Federati, or sorry, Principal
Yeah.
Roman. So big block of proper heavy foot, and they came screaming down my centre, hit me all as a group. I had one disruptor, but nothing of any great value. And he hit, and he took the hits. He burst through 4 of my my bow in turn 1.
straight
He
away.
just immolated them. And all of a sudden, my elephants were standing there by themselves going, okay, so the guy in front of me is dead.
Yeah.
I can't turn.
Double overlaps and
Luckily, he was impetuous, so he had the same problem I had
Yeah.
of turning, but he had a brilliant general. So it's like,
So he could do
you
it.
move over, you do that way, and my elephant's going, oh, this is going to hurt.
Actually, thinking about it now, because I didn't really have many light foot with my barbarian Foderati, but if you had a few more, you could put them out front
Yeah.
of your infantry as you advance. Then you pull them behind, and then when you go in against the bowman, you could actually bring the light foot
Yes.
through back and then
Yeah.
take the elephants on.
That's exactly what I was
That's
doing.
the secret,
That
okay.
was it. Was
So a lot of pips, but heck,
the idea was the light foot. 5 points,
Yeah.
he's elite,
Yeah.
takes on the elephant, but he's occupying a space which
does the
increases your
elite count
width.
for light foot against elephants?
Yes.
I think
Light
elite
foot
doesn't
comes
count
down.
against something. Elite counts against elephants.
The elite doesn't
You're
count for
thinking
rallying
DVM.
back
DVM
up.
days,
Yeah,
right?
elite is elite.
Elite's elite.
Well,
Elite.
but
Essentially, you're extending
the
your
armour that
line
doesn't
even.
count,
So
yeah.
as I say,
Yeah.
with that heavy infantry command, there's.
Actually, you can even do the
3
slide sideways and go in, couldn't you, from enough range?
So
I
I-
actually really like having the spear with the phalangites, with the phalanx as well, because they're slightly cheaper. You get elite one with the Hippaspis, that extends your width. They're more manoeuvrable,
I had
and they're there to hold while you extend the line.
I had one where they came up to my heavy foot. So I had a couple of Varangians, one spear, one 2-handed chopper, and then
No, armas a dos manos, I think is what we'll say.
armas
Armas a dos manos.
armas dos manos.
Arms with two hands.
Yes.
Literally.
And
Weapon
they were
two-handed.
great.
Weapon
He was
two-handed.
coming forward with elephant with spear, so I win on a draw, and then you get you put in the extra hits on. So it was with that was quite good, and the elephant was sort of left by itself. But the elephant still stomped the one that was straight opposite it. He just went squashed it.
You have to accept the fact whatever troop goes in against the elephant, most likely it's going to die. It's the same as like going against a knight or a cataphract.
Yeah.
Because they've got impact and they'll generally be +1, you have to assume it's going to die and accept that fact. Because what you're relying on is
The rest of it.
it can't turn as quickly as you can. If you can burst through, you could pop out the other side, then start turning. And the elephant, like the Titanic, starts doing this. It's like 6 pips or even 3 pips a turn. And what I didn't know until the competition is, when you turn 90 degrees and move, if you're a manoeuvrable troop, you just lose 1. Unmanoeuvrable, lose 2. So my elephant, the best I can do is turn for 2 pips
And move
move
with
one
one
base
width.
width.
That's it.
So the medium foot just went by, burst
Gone.
through, hooked around, and the elephant sat there going, where is everybody? Meanwhile, I've turned 1, and then all the skirmishers, as you were saying, the skirmishers who are hanging around the background, piled on in, because they could then safely go against the elephant. And I had 3 light foot take down elephants in 1 turn. So got happy.
So I suppose
Beautifully done, though.
So I suppose what we're sort of saying is that for, let's call them, if they're elite, they're 16 points plus 4 for the supporting tree, which you have to have. Or the other ones are 13 plus
for ordinaries.
So it's a 17.1 frontage that actually is better than most things in the army, but you don't get that many of them, and they're quite hard to support.
You don't want to have 3
Threes
together.
is enormous.
3 together is with the doubles. Originally, I had 3 together. I couldn't get them to where I needed to be. One ended up trailing behind the others. The maximum you want is 2.
Yeah, because the best you can get is, in any army I've seen, was 6 elephants. But
That's
that's
enormous.
64.
That's more than half your
That's
points.
96 points just gone for 6 elephants.
Yeah.
So yes, I could have done it, but my frontage will be about 15. And the Nike Foreign Army would just walk up to me, you'd scream me a little bit, turn around the flanks, and then we'd see an episode of
Stomping.
Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Chomp, 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 chomp. So,
But actually, it's the most expensive element in the game, and it's going to be the best combat in the opponent's army. And we're kind of sitting around going, oh, isn't there a way to beat it frontally? Which is probably wrong.
No,
It
because
just
it's-
isn't.
because
It
you get the
doesn't
front,
work.
focus on the rest.
It's like
Focus
trying,
on the
it's like
flanks,
trying to beat a knight frontally
Yeah.
if you're medium foot.
You're not going to do it.
The knight was designed to be
do-
an infantry killer.
Yeah.
That's their whole job. Elephants are designed to kill most things.
Yep.
So you have to surrender and accept the fact whatever goes in front of the elephant is going to die.
Yep. Unless it's a javelin.
Burst through the rest of my army, because the most scary thing I can get in my army is a swordsman.
Yeah.
Not impact,
Just a swordsman. Yeah, no, but
so all the legionnaires and gentlemen go, I'll have you.
Yeah.
So I was leaving, so then all my elephants are standing there going, hi.
So the problem I was having is that I didn't have many just swordsmen.
Yeah.
Who say there's the mediocre fighting Skirtorii, and they just weren't getting the hits on before they came in. And then with my cavalry, fine, I could munch the stuff in between the elephants, but then you've got the -1 because, of course, elephants cause fear in horsemen.
But that, and a Byzantine or any cavalry army will struggle against an Indian army. That's just your worst matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you lose your worst matchup,
That's
that's
okay.
not really surprising, is it?
I kept getting that matchup. That was the problem.
And I suppose the Nicephorians, I guess, is because it's a
Even
small army. The fact the elephants are expensive still means they're killing quite a lot of your small army.
His heavy cavalry impact, 14 points.
Yeah,
They're actually more expensive than the elephant.
Yeah, you've
I
got
know
to
we
use
talked about the light foot.
Yeah.
But my army was both my armies were 25 battle groups, which is
That's pretty good.
Then you can throw away 3 or 4 against
I
something.
just
It's not the end
accept
of
I'm
the world.
fine with 22 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got my army to 23 with 4 skirmishers, and that was about as big as you can get it with the elephants.
How big was, what about yours? Yours must have been 18
I
or
was
19.
20 and 21.
Yeah, that's pretty tiny.
Yeah, so I've been looking at a couple of other armies where you have a mixture of, as you say, a couple of elephants.
Yeah.
Because there's several of the other elephant armies where you have bow mediocre.
Yeah.
Now, with my experience of shooting so far, going mediocre bow is just really, really asking for trouble.
Yeah, I was well happy that my army had no mediocre.
But I think
'cause it
mediocre
made
bow have got a place.
Should we get a bill or should we get another round?
Get the bill and go for a walk.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Okay. Excuse us. Oh, there she goes. So what? So
You say mediocre bow?
I think
just not worth having.
to widen you. I've got a
only
feeling
1
that
point more
widening
than
your
light
line by having some mediocre in the line there's a place for that.
I suppose it makes
But
it
that's how the
target and
French
people get
and the
dragged
Be-
across
Yeah,
That's how the
because they're only
French and the
5
Belgians
points.
play.
5 points, move 3, still
Yeah.
3 cohesion.
If they're contacted though, you take them off immediately, don't you? Almost against anything.
But a hole,
But
a
you
hole
can
in the
stick them in
line
some
is not
terrain,
awful.
start shooting. You still shoot 4, even though you're going to miss half the time.
Yeah.
It's something discouraging.
But-
That's why I
suppose it
enjoyed having the
discourages
light
lights,
cavalry,
doesn't it?
for example, either side, because I had 2 of his bowmen tied down, making sure my light cavalry didn't
Yeah.
go screaming around them.
One thing I saw was a nice combination was someone who was using bow ordinary and bow mediocre. So the ordinary is actually doing all the shooting,
Ah, the
and
bows
all the
are
mediocre is
supporting.
doing is he's adding the 1 for support.
Yeah.
So he could have hit anything, but he's giving a +1, and that was quite good because you chuck him on a hill or whatever, or a bit of cover, he's nicely protected, and I wasn't going to go anywhere near it. But you're getting a
that
+1
works.
shot, and that's the cheap way of doing it.
That works. That's good.
One of the things we did learn was we know about the being in the rough.
Yep.
In the rough, cavalry don't exert a zone of control, but medium force do. But when you
In
go
any
up,
form of rough, cavalry don't have a zone of control.
correct?
Wow.
Because your troops are disadvantaged. It means anytime your troops are disadvantaged in terrain, you don't exert zone of control. So that when
That
I
would have
had
made a
mine,
critical difference to one of my games because I had a bowman on a difficult hill zocking my elephant.
Yep.
But if because it was like I was zocked, so I couldn't get out of the way. If I had realised that, I could have turned and charged Auxilia in the open.
yeah.
Meanwhile, so that's luckily I
But
immediately
the-
destroyed the army by falling onto him.
But the other thing is, so in the rough, you've got medium and lights who can exert zone of control because light infantry can.
They can exert zone of
exert-
control in difficult as well.
you see, that was the thing. In difficult, that's even better. Having some lights in difficult, because that's how I got some spearmen in the flank with my light infantry javelin, and that got him all excited with questions and everything else because I hit him in the flank going up the hill with light infantry and managed to mash him.
Wow.
And,
That's hard work.
That was just because he basically sat on the hill and had nothing to go against him.
Venti. Okay, good.
So how do they just put
Change.
light foot giving a zock?
5 inches.
Well, Lightfoot caught us in a zog
Yeah.
in rough and
Against raw troops?
yep,
Because I'm just used to Lightfoot, no one cares about the zoc other than skirmishers.
yeah, and also in difficult terrain, light can do zog medium troops as well.
Yeah, that's a bit harsh.
So that's why if you've got
If
lots
you're
of
in
light
difficult
troops,
terrain,
get some.
medium troops are rubbish. Don't even go there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's
remember
fantastic.
trying bowman in it in
You know,
the
get a couple of
town that shall not
mountains.
be named. But yeah,
That
awful,
probably
awful.
cost me 3rd place.
Yeah.
Okay, in my civil war where I tried to go up.
So you could have had even more cheese, couldn't you?
See, well, that's what my last opponent did. He basically hid in the corner, took the largest size terrain possible, immovable terrain, mountain, this, that, and the other. And the next thing you know, he's created his own mini fortress in the corner with pikes and cavalry. 2 of his commands didn't move for 3 turns.
But if somebody's corner sitting,
What do
you
you
don't
do?
go after it.
You don't.
You sit back. I mean, the guy I played in the Civil War, he corner sat. I tried to go up the hills with medium foot, came across, but I lost 10 points. And then we called it a draw.
Yeah.
Because he
No.
wasn't going to come out.
Well,
and if he's going to corner sit with 2 pieces of steep hills and nothing, you sit there and go, oh, I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah.
Oh, I just had a laugh. I just marched my Sixtorii because he didn't have any archers. So they sat at the bottom of the hill and just shot everything off the hill. I was like, well, come on then.
Resolve the hill. Okay, that's dealt with. Now I've got your flank.
Yeah.
I think
that
my
guy-
army was optimised for taking on corner cities because I just pile up the heavy infantry, just charge in a big line. That was it.
And you've got enough heavy infantry to
Yeah.
mark the hill,
Yeah,
so
I'll
he
do
can't
everything.
come down off
Do
it
everything.
behind you.
Yeah. Just do all of it.
Yeah, it's quite a simple way of your army.
It was very simple.
Just line up, move straight across the table, and
Away you go.
see what happens.
I've learned a couple of skills against bowmen, I think, which are going to pay instead. Play the laid down army, and it's possible because I've got a command of 4 heavy cavalry impacts, companions, elite, everything, and 2 light horse javelin. So you come up, accept the first round of shooting from the bowman, then your light horse retreat, assuming you're damaged. Your cavalry come up, take a round of shooting, and one gets damaged probably. Then the heavy cavalry turn around and run off backwards. And it's so tempting for the guy with the bowman to go, I'll rush forward to shoot them again. And then you turn around, come back 3, and you're in his charge distance, and your light horse, which hopefully you've recovered, come forward, sit in front of the, come and sit in front of the cavalry, take the shooting.
Take the shooting again,
Then you charge through it, bang, there goes
Box your uncle.
And then you've cleared those bowmen out, which is your biggest threat.
Yeah.
Then it's on.
And your light horse are then free to go round the end of the line because they've got nothing to endanger them anymore. So working that parallel, saying take a shot but clear out, take something in, that gets your light horse, and the light horse can take on the bowman and
That's good.
things like that.
Good. Right, well, shall we go find some wine?
Yes.
Okay, boys. Catch you soon.
Cheers.
All the ladies fell for Rudolph Valentino. He had a vino back in those farmer days. And every time you meet a nicer creature, you gotta teach her a blood and daddy ways. But even Rudy would have felt the strain of making smooth advances in the rain.